There's a quiet power in showing up every single day, a force so underestimated that people rarely notice it until the results become impossible to ignore. Talent dazzles in the beginning. It grabs attention. It makes the world stop for a moment and whisper, "Wow, that person was born for greatness." But talent is like a spark. It shines brightly at first, then flickers unless something steady keeps feeding the flame. That something is consistency. Take the story of a young man named Daniel. Growing up, Daniel was never the most talented in his class. In fact, he was painfully average. In school sports, he was often the last one picked. His grades were okay, never exceptional. Teachers praised others for brilliance, while Daniel blended into the background. He wasn't a prodigy, wasn't naturally gifted at music, science, or athletics, and yet he had one strange habit that nobody paid much attention to. He kept showing up. When his basketball coach asked the team to practice 3 times a week, Daniel went to the court 6 times. He wasn't the fastest or the strongest, and he missed more shots than anyone else in his early years. Teammates would laugh at how clumsy he looked, how awkward his movements were. But every morning before school, when the streets were empty and the air was still, Daniel was already at the court, dribbling, sweating, practicing the same shot over and over again. His friends slept in. He kept shooting. It wasn't glamorous. There was no applause, no spotlight, just a boy alone with a ball, repeating the same motion until his arms burned. Weeks turned into months, months into years. While others improved quickly and then plateaued, Daniel improved slowly but steadily. One day, the difference became clear. In a championship game during his senior year, the team's star player sprained his ankle. The coach, desperate, turned to Daniel. Nobody expected much, but as the game unfolded, he played with a calm confidence that shocked the crowd. His shots were clean, his passes precise. He didn't do anything flashy, but he did everything right. The audience gasped. When did Daniel get this good? The truth was simple. While everyone else relied on talent, he relied on consistency. And this doesn't just happen in sports. The world is filled with stories of ordinary people who simply refused to quit. Writers who woke up every morning to write a single page until years later those pages stacked into a masterpiece. Entrepreneurs who tested dozens of small ideas every single day until one of them exploded into a world-changing company. Musicians who practiced scales for hours when no one was listening until the sound of their instrument could move an audience to tears. The danger with talent is that it deceives people into thinking the journey will always be easy. The naturally gifted often win early, but when challenges come, when motivation fades, when life tests patience, talent alone crumbles. Consistency, on the other hand, builds resilience. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results, brick by brick, day after day. Think about the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare laughed because it was born faster, but its arrogance made it rest while the tortoise kept walking. In the end, it wasn't speed that mattered. It was persistence. Life works the same way. It's not about how fast you start, but about how long you can keep moving forward. Daniel's story didn't end with basketball. The habit of consistency spilled into every corner of his life. In college, While others crammed before exams, he studied a little every day. When he graduated and faced the uncertain world of careers, he didn't land a glamorous job right away. Instead, he worked steadily, improving his skills, networking one connection at a time. While his more talented peers chased quick success, Daniel built slowly and surely. 10 years later, many of those peers burned out, while Daniel was thriving, respected, fulfilled, and still climbing. What makes his story powerful is that it mirrors reality for most of us. Not everyone is born with genius-level IQs or world-class physical gifts. Most of us are ordinary. But consistency is the ultimate equalizer. Talent sets the ceiling, but consistency raises the floor until it breaks through ceilings people thought were unshakable. There's a quiet satisfaction in realizing that greatness doesn't require brilliance. It requires commitment. Think of Kobe Bryant, often remembered not just for his skill, but for the hours he poured into practice. He was talented, yes, but what made him legendary was the consistency of showing up to the gym before sunrise, long after others had gone home. Or Cristiano Ronaldo, who wasn't considered the most naturally talented player in his early days, but transformed himself into one of the greatest athletes ever through relentless work. Beautiful thing about consistency is that it compounds. One small action may seem insignificant in the moment, but repeated daily, it becomes unstoppable. Read 10 pages a day, and in a year, you'll finish dozens of books. Do 10 push-ups daily, and in a year, your body will transform. Save a little money each week, and in time, it grows into wealth. Every act of consistency is like a seed planted in the soil. At first, there's nothing to see, but underground, roots are forming. And one day, when you least expect it, that tiny seed bursts into a tree. Daniel's story teaches us a lesson the world often forgets. Talent may open the first door, but consistency builds the entire house. If you want proof, look at your own life. Think of a time you stuck to something no matter how small. Maybe it was exercising for a month, or practicing a new skill every evening. Didn't you notice how progress, slowly, quietly, started to appear? That's the magic formula. Show up, repeat, endure. And that's why consistency beats talent every single time. Talent is a gift, but it fades if not nurtured. Consistency, however, is a choice you can make every day, no matter where you start. It's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. The crowd will always cheer for talent at the beginning, but years later, they'll be standing in awe of the person who never stopped showing up. So the next time you feel average, remember Daniel. Remember the tortoise. Remember the countless unsung heroes who proved the world wrong simply by refusing to quit. You don't need to shine brightly right now. Just keep moving, keep building, keep showing up, because when all the noise fades, it won't be the most talented who stand victorious. It will be the most consistent. Remember, greatness isn't about talent. It's about showing up every single day. Back on your crimes,